Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Caesar's Palace, the site where legends are made. Tonight, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, along with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you, present an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Lorenzo Fertitta, Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave. Executive Director is Mark Ratner. Our physicians in attendance at ringside: lead physician Dr. Flip Homansky, attending physicians Dr. Robert Voy, Dr. William Berliner, and Dr. Margaret Goodman. The timekeepers are Al Bisick and James Cavan. The three judges for the first bout will be Al Lefkowitz, Dalby Shirley, and Glenn Trowbridge. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action for this bout is Jay Nady, your referee. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the welterweight division. This bout scheduled for 4 rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trimmed with white and weighing 146 pounds. From Alice, Texas, he brings a professional record of 2 victories with 2 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Ray the Tiger Ramirez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trimmed with gold and weighing 144 1/2 pounds. In 1996, he captured a bronze medal in the Olympics for his native Puerto Rico. His record now as a professional, undefeated, 4-0, all 4 by knockout victory. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, presenting Daniel Santos.
Six or 4 rounds.
Yeah, I gave you instructions in the dressing room.
4 rounds.
We're going 4 rounds. 4 rounds. Any questions?
There was a little confusion about this fight today because it was originally a 6-rounder, cut today to 4 rounds. In fact, when I talked to Ramirez this morning, he still didn't know it was a 4-rounder. He thought it was scheduled for 6.
Well, it hasn't mattered in the past what they were scheduled for with Daniel Santos, because 3 of his fights have ended in the first round and 1 in the second. And here you see, as Sean pointed out to you in his pre-fight comments, a mirror image of each other, 2 southpaws. Unusual situation here. And watch out for the very sharp punching. Santos has at times really had, and we've only seen him briefly as a professional, of course, but frightening punching power.
Very technical boxer. He likes to hit and not get hit. He doesn't go in there and trade and swing out with opponents. Ramirez would love to stand and trade with Santos. He saw Santos with Juan Herrera a few fights back. In fact, the last fight for Santos, he said he was quick-handed. He knocked him out in the first punch, but he said, "I'm not impressed." His fight plan, that man right there, Reynaldo Ramirez, says, "I'll go at him and trade."
And trying to rough up Daniel Santos here in the early going is Ray Ramirez.
Yeah, you know what he cannot do is he cannot stay on the inside, on the outside, and allow for Santos to outbox him, because Daniel is a sharpshooter. What he must do is make this a war. You got to get inside and rough him up, grab him, hold him, pull him, and punch him.
There, a little bit of the punching speed of Daniel Santos. You saw him double up with the right hand as a southpaw. He throws a right hook, and he went there to the body and then to the head.
And he calls that his favorite punch. The right hook.
And there again, the double hook. He goes body and head with it.
Oh, it's such a debilitating punch, because your opponent hits you in the body to pull your hand down, and then he cracks you in the head.
Just the start of things. Hope you'll be with us throughout this card, which promises so much in terms of action. Title defenses tonight by Oscar De La Hoya, by Kostya Tszyu, by Michael Carbajal, Little Hands of Stone.
Oh, he's so fun to watch, too. Michael Carbajal, every time he steps in the ring, you know it's going to be a good fight. He always gives 100%, as does De La Hoya, Kostya Tszyu, and their opponents.
Inside a minute to go here in round 1, and nothing in terms of material damage opened up yet by Daniel Santos, who usually has his fights over by now.
Oh, yeah, but Santos knew very little about Ramirez, and he's using this first round as a feel-him-out round. Now, this is a fighter in Santos who has the ability to adapt second by second with his terrific amateur career. He knows how important it is to be able to switch gears, turn it on, turn it off. You know, in those amateurs, you find out who you're fighting on that day, the day of the fight.
That's right.
So you have to be able to adapt. Some nice right hooks from Daniel Santos in this first round. Santos moving around to his right. Goes back to the left. It's an easier move for southpaws to make, to go to their right than it is to their left. It's a more natural move. Santos has that down well.
So 1 round in the books, which is a surprise to many, I'm sure. Here is Daniel Santos with 3 first-round KOs in his 4 professional fights. As we go into the corner with Daniel. Here's Santos listening intently now. He was smiling again in his corner as he was prior to the fight.
They're really a different look in each one of the corners. Santos really calm, poised in between rounds.
And this is round 2.
In the corner of Ramirez. Gonna fire their man up. You know, in these 4-round fights too, you don't have a whole lot of time.
That's
so
right.
You have to really get with it. These are the hardest fights to win in professional boxing, the 4-rounders, because you don't have time to really build up a major fight plan. You don't have time to really work your strategy.
Just a round longer than the amateur bouts. Santos trying to get there with his right jab.
Oh, yeah, both men would be well served with a jab. When you don't know what to do, you jab. Right there, jab, pop, pop, pop. It controls the tempo, the pace. It keeps your opponent out at bay. You are in charge when you jab. It also keeps the other person from jabbing. You know what both of them are having difficulty with is the southpaw stance. We talked about how rare southpaws are in boxing. And when you get in there with a left-hander, you gotta look around for the holes. Nice.
That was a quick inside right, yes.
Right hook moving backwards from Santos. That's why they have so many high hopes for Daniel. The punch going backwards, going forward, going to the side.
120 amateur fights, Sean, and he looks very well schooled.
Yeah, very calm,
technically
poised.
Proficient.
Absolutely. He knows exactly what he's doing inside those ropes. And Reynaldo Ramirez is pretty good. He's a little bit, I think, a step behind Santos. He doesn't have the speed of Santos. He would be more effective if he would use a jab. And he must get busy. He can't afford to stand around for 4 rounds and stay on the outside. He's giving too much room, I think, for Santos.
Ramirez himself has been professional less than a year and a half. He's worked in 5 fights in that time, 2-2-1 record.
He started boxing at 7 years old for direction. He sat out and watched the sport for a while with his father, Reynaldo Sr. He had a 151-6 record as an amateur. Ramirez did, on your right. He fought Tomas Barrientos at the 80 Junior Olympics. That's how long he has been fighting, the 1980 Junior Olympics.
And Santos getting hit a little bit, certainly more than he has in any of his professional fights, getting more of a test from Ramirez here than he has so far in any of his pro fights, which eventually will work to his advantage because you want to get some rounds in as a professional.
Sure. And you want, if you're Ramirez, you want to move forward. When he's moving forward, backing up Santos, he tags him.
And a quick little flurry by Santos as we go into the dressing room now. The young man we'll be seeing next, this U.S. Olympian, Floyd Mayweather. Boy, you talk about coming from a fighting family.
Oh, yeah.
There's boxers all through his family, such as the one you're seeing right in front of him now. And Roger Mayweather, his dad, Floyd Mayweather Sr., was a fighter.
Former two-time champion of the world, Roger Mayweather. And they are doing some great work on those pads. Roger Mayweather even informed me that they have another, even younger brother that's on his way up.
Roger looks pretty, he works those mitts pretty good.
Yeah, well, he's a pro fighter. He should work those mitts good. He knows what he's doing. Outstanding fighter, now trying to become an outstanding trainer. There is Daniel Santos. Listen to his outstanding trainer, Alejandro De La Torre, over there in the corner, Francisco Santos.
And there's the bell for round 3, scheduled for 4, welterweight division. Daniel Santos, member of the Puerto Rican Olympic boxing team, in the black trunks, and facing the camera right now and taking a look right at you, Ray Ramirez in the blue trunks, the long blue trunks.
Yeah, he got his money's worth out of those trunks, didn't he? Look at the size of those. He borrowed his big brother's trunk.
Yeah, trunks are longer than when you were fighting nowadays.
There's those jabs that I have been looking for. There has been a dearth of jabs in this fight. First couple of rounds controlled by Santos. I thought Ramirez came on and had a pretty good second round, although I still believe he would be more effective with more aggression. He likes to fight an aggressive style, but not doing that here. Oh.
He's awfully quick with that right hand, Santos.
Yeah.
Even though he's bringing it in an arc, you expect straight punches to be fast, but man, he throws that hook awfully fast.
Really whipping around with it. You're taught to rotate your shoulders. Use the center of your body. Imagine you have a basketball right in your midsection. And throw that punch.
Santos now beginning to really grunt when he's throwing his punches. He's getting his body into his punches now.
Really on the attack now. And this is a perfect opportunity for Ramirez. Ramirez, plant your feet. He's going to be coming. He's all over you. He's all over you like a cheap suit. Plant your feet, throw.
Good body shot by Daniel Santos. And that right hook to the body. He's been effective with it here tonight. Now he's beginning to double and triple up on those right hooks. And he's boy, that's all. This one is over. Man, what a KO for Daniel Santos. And that's what I was talking about. Frightening punching power out of this kid.
Oh, yeah, a scary looking right hook from Daniel Santos. That's why they are calling him another Tommy Hearns. Look down flat on his face is Ramirez. When a fighter goes down on his face, he normally does not get up, and they shouldn't get him up for a while. They won't.
Well, he was out actually on his feet. You could see him. He still was standing there, but now he's able to get to his knees. That's a good sign. But that was a very severe, hard knockout scored by Daniel Santos, but it's no different, Sean, than what we've been seeing from him, because he's been KOing guys in very frightening manner. In one punch, too. When you see a knockout of a fighter and he throws an accumulation of punches, and then he finally goes down, that's such a different knockout than just one punch. This is a kid in Daniel Santos who has one punch power. Watch how he stops Ramirez with this shot. There's the right jab to set it up and correct. Ramirez out on his feet right there. And referee Jay Nady right on top of it. Perfect timing from him. He could not have stopped it any quicker. Wow, down in the canvas, your nose down there, looking at it. Daniel Santos, good-looking young 21-year-old. As Reynaldo wondering, what city am I in? Well, he was KO'd, no doubt about that. And a very impressive performance by Daniel Santos, who now finds himself with a 5-0 record, and he's going to begin to make some headlines in Puerto Rico. There's no doubt about that. As well as here in America, because of course Puerto Rico has followed Felix Trinidad, a great punching welterweight, and now there's another youngster coming up very quickly. Yeah, and they love their boxing in Puerto Rico. Some tremendous Puerto Rican champions over the past, and Daniel Santos hopes to be one of them in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel is dreaming of someday being able to meet up with Felix Trinidad in the ring. Same weight division right now, both in the welterweight division.
Watch him if he goes out.
And we'll go to Michael Buffer, get the official
Ladies and
prediction.
gentlemen, the end comes in 2 minutes and 5 seconds of round number 3. The winner by TKO victory. His record now 5-0. 5 KOs to his credit. From Bayamon, Puerto Rico, Daniel Santos.
Well, this was the longest fight in the professional career of Daniel Santos, lasting until 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the third round, the first time he's been asked to go past 2 rounds.
This way.
Ramirez did well in the first couple of rounds, in as much as he didn't seem to be hurt by the punching power of Santos. But it almost seemed, as Santos takes a final bow there, Sean, as you could see his intention, his intensity and his focus pick up in that third round, and that he wanted to do some damage.
Absolutely, and you saw what Santos did. He turned Ramirez around where he could tag him. He put Ramirez on the ropes, and then he let him have it. He didn't waste any punches. When he wanted to knock out Reynaldo Ramirez, he landed the heavy lumber.